Hello and welcome to Morris Park. Today I'm going to do a little video on my Euphorbia collection. At the request of Edith, affiliated with Cactomania. She was wanting to see some of my Euphorbias, and so I thought I'd show you all some of my Euphorbias. Now I'm going to have to do this in a couple of part series because I have so many of them. My phone won't let me send it all in one video. It says I'm trying to send too much. So anyhow, I'm going to do the first part of this video and show you some of my Euphorbias and some of the diverse ones I have here. And this, I say, is going to be in probably 2 or 3 parts video. Anyhow, I'll start with this big monster right here. This is my Euphorbia Abbis Indica. Very large plant. I've had this plant probably at least 20 years. As you can see, and I've actually cut it down, as you can see, once, because it actually reached all the way to the top of that greenhouse. And I think at about that point, it's probably about 8 feet or a little more tall right there. The tallest point in the greenhouse, I believe, is 10 feet. But at that point, it's about 8 feet. But anyway, very large Euphorbia. Very impressive. I've cut off a couple of the other branches that got too tall also, and I'm waiting for them to resprout and form a little more of a crown there, like the top did. Anyhow, this is the crested form of this plant. You can see some of the normal ones trying to grow out, and the big one will also get leaves at the top of it. A little later this spring and into summer, it'll grow leaves also. But very interesting little crest. Very nice. See all the odd, twisty shapes and forms there. Now these normal pieces, I'm going to have to cut them off pretty soon because what will happen is the normal pieces will try to outgrow the rest of the plant and it'll try to normalize. And this isn't really what I want. I want to keep this twisted, crested look here. So I'm going to be probably cutting those off pretty soon, and I may reroot those and keep them as separate. Now, some of the ones I'm going to show you here is my crested lactea collection. I have many types of lactea. This particular one, I believe, is what they consider the white ghost. It's got a little bit of pink on all the edges here. Makes it really nice. I've had this one a few years now. It's turned into a really nice plant from when I bought it. Really nice big top to it. You can see it's grafted. Most of these are grafted because these crests are kind of weak on their own roots, and especially if they're variegated, it makes them a little weaker. So they put them on these green root stalks of another Euphorbia, and makes them a lot more sturdy. This one's a Speckled Variety. I really like these things. I'm just crazy for them. But this is the Speckled Variety. You can see it's green and white, and it's got the pink in it. Really nice. Really like that one. Now the one behind it is very unusual. As you can see, it's a piebald looking one. Green with stark white patches in it. And as you can see, on the other side, it's even green. A green side and a white side. Very unusual. Really like this Euphorbia. Really cool. I also have another green one back here. Now this one looks a little rough because it went through a freeze some years back. But it's still going, still growing. You can see it's grown some normal branches. As I say, I'm going to have to cut them off, trim them away so the normal doesn't take over this plant and the cresting will keep growing. Right behind it you can see also another normal one. This normal one back behind it froze also. And really just in the last 2 years it started to grow again. It was just like a stump for many years and wouldn't grow anymore. And then last year, I think last year or so, it started to grow some more, and it's starting to come out of it now. Always give things a chance, you know. So I've given this one a chance, and it's growing back out. That's the normal form. Now this one here is another green form. This one was given to me by our secretary at work, Debbie. She had it sitting in her window actually for a number of years, and it never really grew or anything. It just kind of sat there. It wasn't dying or anything, but she was afraid that it might die if it just sat there because it just wasn't growing. Now that I've got into the greenhouse, repotted it, and done some things, you can see all the new growth on it, looking very nice, very fresh, very green. doing wonderful. Nothing to worry about this plant. Debbie, if you're watching this, it's doing very well, and I believe it will continue to grow well until it gets to be a large item like this or even larger. I'll show you the normal white ghost. This is the normal white ghost variety, Euphorbia lactea. I've had this one actually many years, but the freeze killed a bunch of it out. I had to restart it, and it's actually doing well now. It's probably almost 3 feet tall now, and doing very well. Over here, I have Euphorbia Serie Formas. This is an interesting plant because I've done some hybridizing with it, and it seems to hybridize pretty readily with Horitas and so forth. I did hybridize it with the Horita about 2 years ago. I didn't get to catch the seed because, as you know, Euphorbia seeds are kind of explosive, so the seed popped before I got it, and it ended up coming up in the pot below. The resulting seedling is this. This is my Euphorbia Serita, Seriformis Horita hybrid. I brought it inside and took it out of the main pot, brought it inside because it just wasn't doing anything or growing in the main pot with the mother. So I brought it inside, put it under the lights, babied it, and it's actually grown quite well. Probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches tall now. I'm really excited to see how it comes out. It is hybridized with this Horita right here. This is Euphorbia Horita. I'm really a sucker for the Horitas also. And this is actually a male plant. And my Seriformis is a female plant. And yes, you can have the different sexes on different Euphorbia plants, or sometimes they can be both, depending on the species. I have hybridized this again with a Euphorbia polygona. This is the polygon. You can see it's in full bloom. Right now it's a male. And the result is I've got these little seed pods growing now. So this is going to be another new hybrid. I'm going to have to try to get a little net over these things before they actually pop this time, so I can get the seeds and they won't go off everywhere and sprout somewhere else. But I'm really excited to see what that'll come out like, the polygona and the Seriformis hybrid. So this will be something new. And this little plant down here, this Horita Seriformis hybrid, my Serita, is a one-of-a-kind plant. You're not going to find this anywhere, folks. I've looked it up on the internet and everything to see if there was one out there. There is none. This is a one-of-a-kind plant, the only one in the world. So it's going to be very interesting to see what it looks like as it grows. Going back to my Horitas again, I have several varieties of Horitas. This is a Horita Var Major, Var Nova. Now, usually when they put a Nova on plants like this, it means they haven't got a full name for the variety yet. And so it remains to be seen as far as what that variety will be named later on. I keep an eye out for it and keep watching because I've had other Euphorbias do the same thing, and a cactus for that matter, that were under the Nova tag become a named variety later on. This is a Euphorbia Horita, powder blue. Very compact, neat little Euphorbia. I bought this back in 1984 at the Los Angeles County Arboretum Cactus and Succulent Show. It's been a very nice plant. You can see back here, I've got another one started in that arrangement back there. Awesome plant. I really like this one because of its compactness. Very caspitose looking plant. Awesome plant. And it's got that nice blue color to it. Back behind it, you'll see a Euphorbia Horita striata, one of my other faves. I got this plant the same time as I did this one. So this one's about 36 years old also. You can see it's actually blooming now. It's a female plant. I may have to do some hybridizing with it also, just out of my curiosity, and see what I get there. Also, behind here, I have a Euphorbia Versdorfii, submammillaris Vard Versdorfii. Very interesting plant. I really did not get the idea on this plant until about a year ago. I've had it for 37 years. I bought it at the California Cactus Center in Pasadena, California. They were able to give me an ID from a picture I sent them because I told them, hey, I bought this from you. What is this? And they were able to tell me exactly which Euphorbia it was. I really like it. It's very compact, very neat plant. Euphorbia Horita, Norveldensis. This is what I've read is supposed to be a natural hybrid. And look at this thing, folks, just covered in thorns. More thorns than any Horita I've ever seen. I mean, big, long thorns. Now, the tip of this one kind of died out about a year ago. It's not rotting or anything. It just kind of died out and dried up. But the result was all these little branches around it. So I just kind of left it alone, kind of letting it do its own thing. And it seems to be growing out just fine and getting a whole lot of branches on it. So that's really cool there. I really enjoy that. Let's see here. Also have a Euphorbia canariensis that's growing in with my Serie Formas. I've had that a few years, not very long. Bought that at Walmart. I really love the spination on this thing, or the thorns rather. Really cool looking. Very nice plant. This is a Euphorbia Rei, one of the medusoid euphorbias. Very nice. You can see the little flower on it right there. And these kind of vary a little bit as far as what their flowers look like. And I'll show you this in a second. This is a Euphorbia Flanagan. And as you can see, flowers are just a little different than the Rei. Very nice plant though. I really love this little plant. It's one of my good display plants. That's why I have such a nice little stoneware pot and everything. Really big, beautiful plant. Bought it at the Yard and Garden Show in Springfield, Missouri about 2 years ago. Very nice plant. Next to it, I have a Euphorbia opuntoides. You can see the flattened branches here. That's why they call it opuntoides, kind of like a opuntia in a way. No relation. But also gets these three angled branches. Pretty neat. Behind it, Euphorbia trigona, red form. Also bought at the Yard and Garden Show in Springfield about a year ago. Very nice plant. Really like it. I love the red to it. It really makes these plants pop with the red. I don't have the green form, just the red one. Now this one here is kind of a special one too. This is one of my greenhouse hybrids, and I didn't make this one. I have a feeling the bees and pollinators and stuff that fly in and out of the greenhouse during the summer made this plant. Most of you are going to say that's a Euphorbia stellata. But look, if you look at it closely, it has almost all three angled branches. The flat branches grow flat at first, and they come out three angled. Now, what I believe this is I had a branch of a stellata that I saved from one that had died. I had a really nice stellata, and the caudex rotted out on it. And I saved the branch, grew it, the branch flowered, and I had the opuntoides over it at that time. I believe this is a hybrid between stellata and opuntoides, and I call this one Euphorbia Enigma. One of a kind plant. There's not another one out there. It came up all by itself in one of the resulting pods. As I say, these Euphorbia seeds, when the pods are ready, they snap open and burst and throw the seed. And so I never really saw it, but this is the result of what I got when I found it coming up, a small seedling. I've had this growing for quite a few years now. It's turned into a real nice plant. Like I say, one of a kind plant. Very nice. Really like it. Okay, lastly right now, I'm going to show you my polygonas. I really like these polygonas. They have that nice white chalky look to it. And they have an unusual habit of growing by little runners that come up everywhere in the pots. And I have several of these. This one here, which has never really bloomed for me. It's grown really well. It's never bloomed. And this male here that I've been using to hybridize with. As I say, I've hybridized this with the Serie Formas. We're going to see what comes out from this. It ought to be very interesting. Anyhow, for right now, this is Clyde Morris from Morris Park. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I will be doing another video in a few days on the rest of my Euphorbia collection. There are quite a few more. And I hope you've enjoyed this round. This is part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. This is Clyde Morris of Morris Park. Have a great day. Have a happy Easter. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Bye-bye.